Hi, this is Ms. Veldman Tentori, and I am recording this video for students of Ebusiness, and I'm going to do an assignment 1 walkthrough for you. We have already described this in the workshops, but I've found that students often like just a little bit more clarification on some parts of the assignment, so that's what this video is for. So it's on Blackboard, as you've just seen. It's a PDF file that you can open, and I'm just going to talk you through it a little bit. So this is assignment 1. There are 4 of us lecturers, and the deadline is Friday the 5th of October at 5 p.m. at the latest. That is not when you need to try and upload it, that's the very latest that it is due. Please don't leave it to the last few minutes because sometimes the system can't cope with it. This is worth 60% of the module, and you're working in pairs, unless of course you're a weaver. Weavers are still doing this individually, but only one member of the pair needs to submit. Make sure both of your student numbers are actually on the front page of the assignment though, please, and names. So this is just a little bit of the background, but you are doing a case study. You are doing a case study for a real live business, and you are writing a report with a focus on evaluating and analysing the ICT and trends that may be relevant. So this assignment 1 will be a base for assignment 2, and I will of course talk you through that when the time comes. But just keep in mind that at the moment you're looking at an existing business, you're trying to understand how they use ICT, of which websites and SEO and social media are one part of that. And then in the next assignment, you will be building a website and doing a social media plan, but more on that later. Don't worry too much about that just yet. So you're doing the assignment in pairs, and you should be sharing the workload equally. If there are issues, please try and sort it out as best you can. If there really are major issues, you can of course approach the lecturers. But working in teams or groups or working with other people is an important skill in business. The report should be around about 10 pages. Of course, it can be sometimes a little more, a little less if you need that to cover what we ask. Whether or not you count the cover sheet and the references is really up to you. But just keep it as close as you can to the 10 pages. The business that you've chosen, we've talked to a lot of you about choosing a business, or some have chosen businesses that I've presented on Blackboard. They need to meet certain criteria to ensure that you can successfully complete this assignment. So it's getting quite late now to discuss this with your lecturer if you've not already chosen one, but make sure before you submit that it is suitable. All of the information you need to complete this assignment is covered in both the online lectures, both the short ones that we offer, but also remember to be following the Google Digital Garage, because there's a lot of very valuable information in that. And we expect you to also do a bit more research on these topics and present, of course, a bibliography or reference list in your report. So this is how it is broken down. You will start with an introduction, business overview and analysis. The way that you present this is up to you. These are the points that we are looking for. We need to know where the business is located because this is a real business, the number of staff, why you chose it, the industry they're in. It's also really interesting for us to know why you chose that business and whether you've had direct contact with them or not. Either way is fine. It's just good to have this information in your report. Present situation analysis, again, how you do that is up to you, but it's just a little bit about where is the business now, how long have they existed, what are they focusing on, a bit about the industry. There may be tools that you've learnt in your previous studies to conduct these types of analysis, but we're not looking for any ones in particular. You just need to describe these areas. Culture has a big impact on a business, and certainly as international business students, you should be aware of that. So being aware of where the business is located, things like the language, the impact of business in that country. Again, do your own research, define what you think culture is, and apply that in this case study. So that's 20% of your report to introduce the business and kind of set the scene. Then you will dive into more depth for the ICT analysis. Tell us what you believe ICT is, backed up with some form of referencing and current trends. Miss Moore gave a lecture on this last week. There is a online lecture, and some of this will be covered in the Google online workshops. But what is ICT and why is it important to a business? And then you look at applying that to your chosen business. So what kind of ICT are they using? One tip there to also prepare you for the next assignment is if they have a website, which a lot of businesses do, what are the goals? Why do they have a website? Why should the business continue to invest in ICT? What are they maybe already investing in? Scalability is about growing a business. So how does the ICT help them grow? And your present situation might also refer to this or give you a base for this, in that, does the business want to grow? Is it 1 staff? Is it 10 staff? Are they happy staying at that level? Do they want to expand? And could ICT help them expand? And the financial analysis, we're not expecting, pages and pages of spreadsheets, just a basic understanding and overview of what is ICT costing this business. And this financial analysis, you'll notice, is under ICT analysis. It is not for the whole business, just for the ICT. What are they spending on ICT, and what kind of benefits are they getting back for this? I've seen some good previous assignments that have just put this into a basic table, saying, for example, what the website cost, what it costs to have staff running their social media accounts, any other ICT they're using, what are they investing, and how is that contributing to the income of the business. Both of those first 2 sections are worth 20%, so they're not hugely in-depth analyses, but we want to be able to see, do you understand these topics and how have you applied them to your case study business? Business planning and opportunities, this is where we tell you which tool to use, which is the business model canvas. Business model canvases should be dot points. We don't want to see sentences and explanations on the canvas itself. Canvas should be 1 page. Usually it's landscape, so when you're presenting it in a report, you decide how to do that in the Word document. Some students like to submit as a PDF file so that it stays in the right format. You can put it in the appendix or in the report itself, but you want to be able to show that you know what a business model canvas is and how you can apply that to your business. There are a lot of examples online for this, so take a look. And of course, the workshops, people have been asking questions and we can help you there, give you a few tips. But on the canvas itself, it is a 1-page tool. You can complete that. There's templates online that you can use, and then underneath the canvas explain a little more about your dot points from the canvas. So for example, you might have listed 3 or 4 key partners, and then make sure that those key partners are described in a little more detail in the report underneath. Moving on to the target market analysis. So in your canvas, I'm not sure if you can see this on the video here, but you've got the customer segments. So there you would have identified a little bit about your target market, and this takes you into a little more depth, giving us an overview, like an introduction to your 2 personas, and you're choosing 2 representations of ideal clients. And again, bringing culture in. The first section of culture up in the introduction was about how does culture impact the business. Here, what is the impact on specifically on your target market, and how does the culture of your target market affect your business? That section's worth 25%, and then there is 10% left for the professionalism and readability of the report. There is, back on Blackboard over here, you'll see a report guidelines checklist. So this is just some guidance. If you're an exchange student, this may be slightly different. We are a little bit flexible, but we want to see a professionally presented report. As I said, one tip is to perhaps convert your document when you're ready to submit into a PDF format, but we can only have, I think it's Word and PDF documents on Blackboard. So that is a walk through the assignment. The assignment 1 notes here give you a few extra tips. Any assignments that are late will be deducted 1 grade per 24 hours or part thereof. We have to have submissions via Blackboard. We cannot grade anything via email. We're aware that occasionally Blackboard does go down, so that's why we say don't leave it until the last minute. But of course, if there's major dramas on that particular day, we will look at that for you. But aim to submit well on time. That's the guidelines for your case study business. You don't have to talk to the business. A lot of students like to because it makes it more interesting. But there's more information there. And finally, this is how we will be grading. So I talked through each of those sections back up earlier on this document, but that will give you a little bit more transparency in terms of when your lecturers are grading your report, how they are graded. So I hope that's helpful. All the best. I really enjoy reading these assignments and learning more about all the businesses you've chosen from all around the world. Good luck. And if you have any other questions, we have, at the time of this recording, we have 2 more workshops coming up. So one tomorrow, which is the 20th of September, and one, there's not one next week, and then there's one on, I believe it's Thursday, the 4th of October, just before the report's due. So all the best, and I look forward to reading them.